There are 212 plants in PvZ2. Some of these plants are really strong. Like, how is this plant even legal? And with this many plants, not all of them are going to be great. Some of them are bound to be, well, hot garbage. Which is why in this video, I'm going to explain what I think are the top 10 worst plants in PvZ2, with 1 being absolute garbage, and 10 being still a bad plant, but not as bad due to having some redeeming qualities. Kind of like Tangler, which is ranked at number 10. It's a wall plant that blocks the zombies, kind of like Johnny, with the added ability of being able to instantly defeat zombies that get close. This makes Tangler somewhat strong, but it has the crippling downside of only being able to be planted on graves. This makes the plant barely even usable, since 8 out of the 11 worlds in the game don't even feature graves. And even in the levels that do feature them, it's hard to use Tangler because you have to be careful not to destroy the graves. On top of this, you have limited planting space, making it harder to use. Like, if you needed to block a zombie that's too far to the left, you just can't. Which is why it's even better when paired with another wall plant like Johnny. Johnny blocks the zombies. Overall, Tangler is ranked number 10 because it's the best of the worst plants. It's a decent wall plant that also defeats the zombies. That is, if it wasn't limited to only being plantable in graves. Number 9. Pepper Pult is kind of like a cabbage pult, as they both lob vegetables at the zombies. But unlike cabbage, Pepper Pult does not have good stats for the cost. Since both plants are similar, I'm going to use cabbage as a reference point to show why it's hot garbage. Cabbage Pult cost 100 sun. Pepper Pult cost 200 sun. So does it deal double damage to compensate for the double cost? No. It only deals slightly more damage. Cabbage Pult recharges in 5 seconds. Pepper Pult takes 3 to 5 business days to recharge.
What?
Like, what is the point of this plant even existing? To make Cabbage Pult, a below average plant, look like the best plant in the game? Because it's kind of working. I guess you could use it to heat plants in frostbite caves, but fire pea exist. The only redeeming quality is that the plant food is somewhat decent. It murders the zombies. Number 8. Electric currant connects to other electric currents, making an electric fence that zaps the zombies. The damage is actually not that bad, but to make the fence you need a current in the top and bottom lane, meaning those currents are vulnerable to being, well, eaten. And there's not much you can do to stop the zombies from eating your currants. Like, sure, garlic exists, but it's hot garbage. So your best option is to place extra attacking plants in the top and bottom lane to defend the currents. But at that point it's probably better to just use a normal setup. Overall, electric currant can be useful sometimes. I don't know how it just defeated them. But its gimmick makes it harder to get value out of compared to basically any other damaging plant. Number 7. Devour Bloom is an instant use plant that omnoms all the zombies in one tile. Yeah, it's literally the exact same thing as squash. They both defeat the zombies in a one tile area, but the difference is that Devour Bloom is trash. It cost 125 sun rather than squash's 50 sun cost, and it takes 18 Devour Blooms to defeat a Garg. You only need 2 squashes. So like, why would I even use you? It costs more sun and does less damage than squash. The only redeeming quality is that Devour Bloom can defeat Chicken Wrangler without releasing the chickens. Squash releases the chickens. Timu Piranha Plant from Super Mario is ranked number 7 because, while it is just a worse squash, Devour Bloom could still be useful if you really wanted it to. There's just not much point in using it, kind of like Gold Leaf. which is ranked at number 6. It creates a gold tile on the lawn that generates sun when a plant is on it. The issue is that gold leaf's recharge takes longer than trying to fully cook a chicken by slapping it. This one stat makes gold leaf basically useless. By the time you have 3 gold tiles, which is the equivalent of about 4 sunflowers, the level is already over. So like, if you want more sun production, just bring 2 primary sun producers. Primal Sunflower and Sunshroom is generally pretty good. Just like Devour Bloom, there's never really any reason to use gold leaf, because there are just better options. Also, for some reason it cost 80 sun. Just why? Number 5. Aloe heals plants that are 1 tile to the right. This sounds like it might be useful because you can pair it with a wall plant like Johnny and have Aloe heal it. The problem is that you're losing the ability to place a melee plant behind Walnut, meaning instead of dealing extra damage to the zombies defeating them, you're just stalling them instead. And because they're not being defeated as quickly, they stack up, causing your wall plant to get munched. Whereas if you were to just use a melee plant like Bonk Jesus instead of Aloe, the zombies would be defeated. It also doesn't help that this plant has a recharge slower than hand copying the dictionary with a crayon. The only time Aloe could be useful is in really specific situations. Like, using it with Kiwi Beast is okay because it needs to take damage in order to become more powerful. And Aloe can heal it back up. The plant food heals plants in a 3x3 area in front of itself. I honestly don't know why I would have walnuts in a 3x3 area, but here it is. I actually got footage of this situation. Overall, Aloe is ranked at number 5 because it has some niche use cases, like being used to repair Chadgourd's leaves. If Aloe didn't have these interactions, it would be completely useless. Kind of like Spring Bean, which is ranked at number 4. It knocks back the first zombie that steps on it. The problem is that Spring Bean barely moves the zombies, like at all. And it only knocks back 1 zombie at a time. So like, if there are 2 zombies, it's going to get eaten. Even if there's just 1 zombie, it still takes 10 seconds to recover. So Spring Bean is more of an investment in feeding the zombies than defending the lawn most of the time. The only time Spring Bean can be useful is in Pirate Seas, because when it's placed near the water, it can knock the zombies into it. But it does not really matter because Pirate Seas is less than 9% of the game. Overall, Spring Bean is not Captain Jack Sparrow. Wait a minute, it just sent that zombie flying. Garlic is being ranked at number 3 because it's pretty bad. But that probably goes without saying. Garlic redirects the zombies that munch it into other lanes, which can be useful when paired with plants like Fat Beet, since their main weakness is being eaten head-on, and it moves the zombies out of the way. There's just one problem. Garlic sucks. It dies to literally everything. You place a garlic, it gets lit on fire. Place another one, punched with a rock. Place another one, ran over by a piano. Even in levels without special zombies that insta-defeat garlic, it's still not that great because it can only direct a few zombies before being munched. Which would not be that big a deal if it didn't have a recharge that takes longer than trying to dig to Spain with a plastic spoon so you can watch a soap opera.
Papa! Niño!
Bueno.
Number 2, Buzz Button is bad. It costs 50 sun and takes 4 of them to defeat a Conehead. Like, Potato Mine is better than this creature. Yeah, I don't think there was much to say about this plant. It even struggles against chickens. Which reminds me of the time that Jack Black saw a chicken.
Lava, chicken. Stay lava chicken, yes, this.
And now, ranked at number 1 is Vamporcini. It's a wall plant that blocks the zombies, kind of like Johnny. But the difference is that it's worse in literally every aspect. So I'm going to use
Surprise, motherfucker.
Walnut as a point of comparison to show why it's hot garbage. Walnut has 4,000 health. Vamporcini has 2,700. Walnut cost 50 sun. Vamporcini wants you to take out a second mortgage. Like, why are you 125 sun? You have less health than Johnny. And on top of having not good stats for the cost, it also has a bunch of wonky interactions that make it actively bad. Walnut is even better when paired with spikeweed because it keeps the zombies on the spikeweed for longer. Well, Vamporcini says screw you, the zombies walk past spikeweed before eating it. When a zombie is on the left side of the lawn, you can block it with a walnut. Well, Trash Can over here will just let the zombie walk past because it has to boot up like an internet modem. Also, this thing is supposed to deal damage, but PvZ2 players are yet to see it actually defeat an imp. Basically, just use a wall plant like Johnny. Anyways, that was the top 10 worst plants in PvZ2. Here is the final list on screen. Subscribe to the channel or Mario will be glued to the ceiling.
Mamma mia!